Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy Forrest, founder of Celestial Forest Institute. And as many of you know, we are opening a new Priestess Circle on July 22nd, 2022. And that is Mary Magdalene's feast day. And I thought it would be way fun to interview. I've had countless women go through this process, but I've never really let them speak into what has happened with them. So that's what we're going to do. I'm interviewing a lot of the women that have gone through the process with me or are going through it right now. And we're here today with my dear friend, Cheyenne Bartz. Hi, Cheyenne. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great today. How are you?
I am good. So Cheyenne is in the priestess process right now. So I'm just going to give you a little minute. Just tell us where you live, where you're from, why you were drawn to the process, anything about, strategically you want us to know about you.
Well, again, I'm Cheyenne Bartz. I am currently in Lawrence, Kansas. My journey with Kathy actually started over a decade ago. I dipped my toes in here and there, which was great for me. I was still fairly young, and I didn't really dive into the whole process until I had two little girls of my own. And I cannot be more thrilled that I went ahead and went through with the process. I feel like it combines every little thing that I've learned over the years with her in such a way that just brings it all together, as well as providing a space and a community like I've never had before. And I cannot begin to tell you how meaningful and important that is for me, especially since I'm raising two little girls of my own. I started the priestess process after they were a couple of years old, and I have noticed a huge change, not only in my behavior, but of course everybody else's around me because of my change in my behavior. Not that we were like out of sync or anything to begin with, but I just noticed how much more smoothly everything runs now, and how much more just, what's the word I'm looking for? How much more I'm able to appreciate myself and be one. I'm looking for a certain word here. You can like cut these, right? It's just how I've come into myself as a woman and how I have been able to find my own empowerment through this community and the lessons and not programs, but the lessons and just little rituals that I have gathered, that I have included throughout my day. And I just can't be more thankful for that. And I cannot recommend it enough. Even if you don't necessarily jive with everything, she does it in a way that you can add in little things and you can take in what the teachings are, in a way that's not necessarily one particular mode and this is how you do it. So you can take what she gives you and just bring it all together in your own little container and enjoy the wealth come of an entire container of women to hold your little container.
That's beautiful. I love that. So obviously you've spoken into some of the changes that have happened for you. Has there been anything dramatic that you've noticed? Anything that it's just like, oh my goodness, I wouldn't have been doing that. This wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Priestess? Or has it been mostly subtle?
There has been a lot in Priestess. I would definitely say Again, with just me coming into my empowerment as a woman, which I cannot begin to say how important that was as a mom. And I didn't realize until I was a mom how I was reluctant to even go down that path and be an empowerful woman. And so just opening that up, and again, because I have 2 little girls, but I have to say that it's also helped my relationship with my husband. There has been a lot of coming together and joining with the masculine and the feminine forces, and just functionality and how they work together. Because I don't feel like we're taught that. When I definitely wasn't taught that when I was little. And so just seeing how embracing the differences and embracing how those differences can work together instead of butting heads, I've definitely seen throughout the Priestess with and it was like immediate too. Before I even like really realized what was going on, these things were just kind of, the gears were working and it was following through, and it was doing it in such a lovely way that I didn't notice. So it wasn't painful and it wasn't jarring. It was just, some things were bubbling up to the surface, but it was in a way that was easily handled and understood, which I have never had in my life. Usually my lessons are very blunt and in my face. So that was awesome. But I have to say, the most magical, amazing thing that has ever happened to me through any of my journeys with you, Kathy, has been my, I don't know, complete healing from PMDD. I used to suffer, which is like, it was debilitating. There were times that I could not leave my house because of the pain. Other times, if it wasn't the pain, it was this weird, odd morning sickness that I would just puke all the time, which was not fun to deal with in high school and college. And so it was just this repeating pattern of hating it and it hating me, and finally breaking through that. I believe it was with Body Wisdoms, which comes with the Priestess process, but I had done it separately before. And it was the most, I can't describe it other than a miracle. I went from hating and dreading my period and having it be honestly detrimental to functioning in life. It caused me to definitely slow down as far as my path and my goals go. And I went from that to like, I look forward to it now. And the practices that you learn through Body Wisdom and the Priestess at first seem very overwhelming, because there's so much, and there's so much that we're not taught at all growing up or when we're little or anything. But I love the way that it's just broken down into little tiny tidbits, and each little tidbit, because of the process and Mother Earth and all of it, it's taken and it's just amplified. So even if you start with one little thing, it makes such a huge difference. And that's the thing that I was surprised about the most when I started with the Body Wisdom. It was like one little thing started to change everything. And then I was able to add 2 other things. And then all of a sudden I was like, this is great. This is what it's supposed to be like. Oh my God. Like, wow. I mean, if anything, I have to recommend it. If you have any sort of menstrual issues, or even if you just don't like it, take one of these classes, if not the Priestess, so you can learn to love it, because we should be loving it.
I cannot tell you, Cheyenne, that just makes my heart sing. I had no idea. That just gives me chills when I think about it. That's my goal. That's what I want to help women with. So I'm so appreciative that you decided to come on and share this with other women so that they can hear what we do in there, and that it's not just woo-woo stuff. It's real practical information and a support system that'll support you through whatever. So I can't even tell you how happy that makes me. Thank you. Thank you so much
Oh,
for being here.
Thank you. Like I said, I can't tell you how happy it makes me. I tell everybody, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, you just need it's the whole thought process, and it's the way we were raised in this society, and you have to break that down. And I'm sure there's other ways to break that down and break free of what we've just embedded in poor young girls about their menstrual cycle. But this process is so loving and so caring and so gentle if you let it be, that I cannot recommend a better and more beautiful way to really fall in love with it. So
Oh,
thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you, Cheyenne.